What's crackalacking? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know so, and we're back again with a way too early 2022 NFL mock draft. I'm using Vegas betting odds for the draft order. This is really to highlight maybe, I guess, potential needs in the future, but screwed. We know this is more about the prospects, guys to watch, guys to put on your radar. I'm trying to highlight them. So go ahead and enjoy the video. Become a bro and subscribe. Leave that thumbs up if you enjoy the content. This is going to be a ton of fun because there's actually a ton of trades already in next year's draft. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for sure, and then one pending, but it's going to happen. It's the Colts trading their first round pick. All the Eagles need the Colts to do is have Carson Wentz play 75% of the snaps, and that's going to happen unless he gets hurt, of course. So let's go ahead. Let's dive into this sucker. And we're going to start with the Houston Texans. I got them going Spencer Rattler. That's my top quarterback on the board. I think in terms of arm talent, he has it. He just needs to show consistency. Obviously, if the Texans, if they're drafting first, they're going to get a quarterback. Don't you dare tell me Davis Mills is the guy. There is a big difference between, well, an early third round pick and, well, the first overall pick. You don't screw that up. There is a difference in the talent, in the potential. So we're going to go ahead with Rattler. He is my current number 1. And then Detroit with number 2. We're going quarterback again. Quarterback is value. I'm just saying, unless there is just a dog awful quarterback class, quarterback's typically going to go first every year, guaranteed. And in this case, number 2 as well, just because Detroit, they need a new quarterback, and Sam Howell is pretty darn good. That man has a cannon for an arm. Now he's losing a lot of his weapons, though. How will he fare? Luckily, he brings back a very veteran offensive line there, so I think if all things go well, Sam Howell will be the number 2 quarterback, at least in this class. And then the quarterback class, well, to me, it doesn't fall off. I have a guy that's more of a mid first round pick, but with quarterback value and makes him top 10 nowadays. And I think the rest of this quarterback class is just, they're on the brink. If you're guessing that they're first rounders right now, I don't think you're right just yet. They need a season to prove it. There's a lot of those guys in here, and we'll get to them because, well, quarterback kind of is a need, and it's kind of the most valuable position on a roster. But the Bengals, they're picking here at 3. Could have went edge. Decided not to. They just got Osai. They brought in Hendrickson. So we went with corners because Derek Stingley, I don't care. I don't care what the Bengals have at quarter. You're not passing on Derek Stingley. He could have been the top in this past class. He would have been in contention with guys like Surtain and J.C. Horn. I know he had a bit of a sophomore slump, but to be fair, that LSU defense wasn't that good, really. And no defense was really good in the SEC last year. There were a few, but for the most part, it was a down year for defense. Expect him to rebound. He is the top corner in this class. And then the Jets, they go Kayvon Thibodeau. The guy is special. He had a slow start to the year, but if you want, you can go back 2019 and just see the havoc he created, or you could go to the USC game last year where he just manhandled Elijah Vera Tucker, who, like I said, was better at guard anyway. The Jets, Salah, he loves the defensive line. He's a defensive coach. So he gets the guy to pair up with Carl Lawson. I mean, make no mistake, for me, it's quarterback and Stingley Thibodeau in terms of the top guys in this class. I don't think much of that's changing. I think these guys are the top 4, at least when it comes to my board. So let's move on to the rest of the draft. With the Jaguars, they're going DeMarvin Leal out of Texas A&M, defensive interior. You might be like, DT, that's weird. Well, this guy, he actually plays edge there at Texas A&M, but at 290, I imagine he's going to end up being a defensive tackle, and he gets so much pressure. I really think he can be a top 10, top 15 pick. He is very talented. And for the Jags, I mean, in this case, he ends up playing probably the 5 tech And just because they reloaded so many different places, it was kind of hard to find good value. But I think Neal's going to be very good. And then the Las Vegas Raiders, you're picking in the top 10. Let's just go ahead. I'm sorry, Derek Carr. We got to move on. We went Slovis. Slovis, for me, is a mid first round pick right now. He had a real down year there at the Pac-12. To be fair, the Pac-12 didn't think they were going to be playing. But this guy is like Kirk Cousins. And hold on a sec. I know you hear Kirk Cousins and you're like, ugh, I know, I understand. But he was money in the fourth quarter. If he can be like that, well, a whole game, the whole season, then yeah, he's a top 10 pick plus quarterback value. It's kind of a thing. Quarterbacks get overvalued. And this is my sleeper at quarterback, Malik Willis out of Liberty. Unfortunately, this mock draft's coming out Monday because I was like searching around, and a lot of people apparently are really high on Malik Willis as well. It's like, well, shoot, I get it. He's very similar to Trey Lance in terms of he has a cannon for an arm, and he's extremely athletic. Like, he's got big rushing ability. But this guy was the difference here is Trey Lance, he wasn't offered many D1 scholarships. Willis is a former Auburn recruit. He transferred from Auburn. This guy has Power 5 talent. So, again, this is early. We have a whole season still to play, but follow me on this. And plus, if the Eagles, this is actually the Eagles' picks. One of their 3 first-round picks they're going to have next year, but this is actually the one that they get for just being the Eagles. If you're picking in the top 10, Jalen Hurts, rough year. Sorry, bud. And then I got Tyler Linderbaum going to the Giants. I would have loved to go another quarterback here, but I feel like if you go 5 quarterbacks in the top 8, it's kind of stretching it. We kind of saw what happened this year. We ended up having 5 go in the top 15, 4 go in the top 11. And granted, though, this year was It was a record for the most quarterbacks in the within the first 67 picks. I think it was 8. So record could be made here. This is a weird quarterback class. Like I said, there's a lot of candidates that could throw their hat in the ring for, hey, I'm a first rounder. I got a lot of already day 2 grades on guys I can't wait to see next year. But we're going to wait on quarterback. We're going to wait to replace Danny Dimes because I think we could do it later. I got a couple of prospects in mind that we could do it with. Instead, Tyler Linderbaum, for me, would have been the top interior in this class, in the 2021 class, if he declared. He did not. I think this guy, he is that Quentin Nelson exception of taking an interior player in the top 10. The Giants, they need it. Tyler Linderbaum is that good. I'm just saying. So let's keep this sucker rolling. And then I got Mike Jones going to the Panthers. What really do the Panthers need? I would like to get a linebacker. And Mike Jones is my current top linebacker in this class. He is special. He was playing that Isaiah Simmons role there at Clemson last season. Decided I'm going to transfer because they're using me like a safety. I want to display that, hey, I'm a linebacker, and I'm going to be a darn good one at that. He does need to put on a little weight, but I really think he could be a very good linebacker in this class, and he is currently, I'm projecting him to be my top linebacker. And then the Washington football team go Desmond Ritter out of Cincinnati. I have a hard time putting him in the first round. I get it. He's got a cannon for an arm. He's got the athletic ability. I think he does need to work a little bit on his accuracy underneath and on the intermediate levels. The problem is Cincinnati, they run a very RPO heavy scheme. He's not getting those opportunities. So I really don't know what will change in a season when not much is going to be changing around him. He's going to be running the same system, and we're going to see the same talent that we did. So I don't know if that will push him in the first round, but I'm willing to bet on maybe he does sneak into that conversation. Plus, Washington, I don't know where else we go but quarterback. Zach Harrison going to Atlanta. They need a pass rusher. Ohio State, they push out pass rushers. He's a pretty darn good one. He's the next in this lineage of Ohio State pass rushers going in the first round. Then at 12, I know how to solve your quarterback problems. You know what the problem was with Danny Nichols and Dimes? He wasn't from Ole Miss. Last time you won a Super Bowl was with a quarterback from Ole Miss. And I know I'm just doing this to be funny, but Matt Corral has some real high-end potential. Like, he makes some seriously disgusting throws. And when he's hot, he's hot. He's like J.R. Smith, man. He gets streaky. But when he gets cold, oh no. That Arkansas game, 6 interceptions. He gets cold. But unlike Danny Dimes, Corral is not afraid to attack downfield. I love that. That's what Danny Dimes is actually very good at, throwing the deep ball. He just needs to start doing it more, or he's going to end up in this Derek Carr, like, mediocre. Maybe you're a top 20, sometimes maybe a top 15 quarterback. The Giants, you don't want to get stuck in that cycle, because then you just end up mediocre for a while. So we go with Corral here. I think he really does have some high-end potential. He just needs to clean up some of the deficiencies in his game. And then I got Ahmad Garner going to the Cardinals. This is my cornerback 2 in this class. I love... his nickname is Sauce, first of all. Sauce. What a nickname. But he has been elite for 2 consecutive years. And I said this I actually said this after his freshman season. And Stingley's that him and Stingley are going to go 1-2. They are the best 2 corners currently that'll end up going in the 2022 draft. And I'm going to stand by that. I love him as a prospect. Cardinals, I know they got Tay Gowan. They got Marco Wilson in this past draft. You're hoping maybe one of those guys work out. If you're lucky, maybe both do. I'm willing to bet maybe just one does. Let's go ahead. Let's just keep adding talent to the position. Zion Nelson going to the Steelers here. Would have gone quarterback, but I think I'm getting a little frisky if I go 7 quarterbacks in the first round, let alone 7 quarterbacks in the first 14. I don't think we're going to see that. I don't think we're going to see 6. We might see 4 or 5 of these guys, but I had to go quarterback for the Giants. I don't know what to tell you, man. But the Steelers, they get their tackle of the future here. Zion Nelson, I'm not impressed with this tackle class. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I like the interior talent on this class a heck of a lot better. Zion Nelson, he's very good. But he just happens to be the top in a weak offensive tackle class as of this moment. There's a lot of guys that still need to come out and prove stuff to us. So right now he's my top guy, but plus he's super athletic, so that's a good plus. Kyle Hamilton going to the Vikings. They could use a replacement at safety. They lost Anthony Harris. They're probably going to lose Harrison Smith sooner or later. Hamilton, he's simply at 15 because the NFL hates the safety position, and these guys end up falling. The safety position is a devalued position, but unlike running back, it's very valuable. Shots fired. What can I say, man? What can I say? But yeah, dude, he's just extremely good. We've been talking about this guy since his freshman season. He's a special talent. This is going to be a good corner class, and at least at 1, it's going to be a very good safety class. Garrett Wilson is my top wide receiver. He's going to the Titans. They kind of addressed receiver on day 3, but with 2 guys that I were like outside of my top 40. And I mean my top 40 receivers in the draft class. So Garrett Wilson, he's going to be my top. He edges out Chris Olave, his teammate, just by this much, man. But I think he's really good. I'm not too crazy about the wide receiver class just yet. I don't think there's really any guys that are like top 10 worthy. But after once you get to 11 or 12, then I might be more willing to go with a Wilson or Olave. We went with Wilson here. Again, he's my top guy. And then at 17, I got Trent McDuffie, the cornerback out of Washington, going to the Chargers. He's just a really good scheme fit, and he was shut down last season. He should be shut down again. He's got great length. So I'm going with him here, man. I'm actually a big fan. He's I think my cornerback 4, but like I said, I really liked the scheme fit. And then look at it. We got Chris Olave here for the Patriots at 18. They get Chris Olave, he would have been a mid to late first round pick if he came out of this class. And I don't think much changes next year. I don't think he has that top 10 potential. He's a very good route runner. What I don't like is there's really not much after the catch with him. He just kind of goes down after contact. But again, polished route runner that attacks the short, intermediate, and deep. Very good, very well, very nice. That's going to be good for Mac Jones in the future. And then Evan Neal going to the Eagles with their second pick. He's 360 pounds. He's got to be a guard, right? I just can't wrap my head around him being a tackle. He's very talented. And again, being a guard, unless you're like Quentin Nelson-esque, you're not going to go in the top 10. But he is still very good in his own right. Definitely should go in about that 11 to 20 range. And then this is a bit projection on my part, but I love Justin Ross, dude. I love a vertical deep threat that gets great separation and is a contested catch receiver when he needs to be. He is that 6'4", 205. The spinal cord injury, yes. We will need medical verification that he is A-okay. I'm glad he decided to come back and didn't decide to come out in this pass draft because realistically, I could have saw him not getting drafted just because of that injury. So I'm glad we get to see him for one more year. He's got a pretty solid quarterback back there. I know it ain't T-Law, but that guy's pretty darn good in his own right. DJ, I ain't going to butcher your last name, not till 2023. But Justin Ross, man, he's good. He's good. A lot of people regret not going with T. Higgins, and I think Ross is a bit speedier version of T. Higgins. And then, bam! Eagles back on the clock. This is the Colts pick. We're going with Kyer Elm. I think I said his first name right. It kind of throws me off with the two eyes. But this cat, he could go top 10. Like a lot of what he does is CJ Henderson-esque. It's just really going to come down to his testing. Like, I don't think he really has much to prove left in the SEC. He's been a solid corner there. So, yeah, you sold me on it. They need help at corner. I know they got Zach McPherson. He's a slot. I'm telling you, he's a slot. So, they get an outside corner here. They grab the guard earlier to help with the trenches. And they get the quarterback of the future. What a haul. What a haul. Zion, hopefully I nailed this. Tupialoa Fetty. I know I did. I'll get it right by next year. Out of Washington, edge, going to the Cowboys. Cowboys, they could use a little bit of edge talent. They addressed the corner position this past season, so I guess they're going to hope those guys work out. But let's get some pass rush to make their job a little bit easier. I love Zion here, dude. He's exceptionally good. Here, I'm going to bring up stats because seeing is believing. Zion, only 4 games started last year, right? Well, only 4 games played in general. And he kind of took on that Joe Tryon role. And I bet you Joe Tryon, dude, I guess there's no regret. He ended up going to the first round, but imagine Tryon, he would have been good in this role. I don't think he would have been this good. He had 20 pressures, 7 sacks through 4 games. His pressure rate was about 25%. Ridiculous. This guy, if he puts out another year like this, he could be a top 15, top 10 pick. This edge class is very good, very intriguing. And then the Jets, I'm going to go with a tight end because I really wanted to showcase a tight end and couldn't really figure out where else to put one. I'm going with Jalen Wademeyer. He's like a fringe first rounder for me. Very talented, very good receiver. We'll see how he does this next year without Kellen Mond there at quarterback. So, yeah, I know the Jets, they got Kenny Golladay, but he's an undrafted free agent. You're not going to rely on that. And their other options there aren't that great. Merlin Robertson going to the Broncos. Merlin Robinson might be next year's Xavier Collins. Like, a lot of what Arizona State asks of Robertson is what Tulsa was asking of Collins. Robertson, he's very athletic. I think he's good enough in coverage. He has sneaky good pass rushing skills. So he might be, he's a guy to watch out for. He's another fringe first rounder in here. In a linebacker class that is, I don't think, very good at the top outside of Mike Jones. I think everyone else, I'm just going to kind of sit and wait. I'm kind of curious about. I know people love who's the linebacker at Alabama? Christian Harris, right? People love him. I want to wait and see him actually play well. Like last year was kind of a crap show at linebacker. So, yeah, I'm going to wait and withhold. He had a pretty bad year. So, if he could come and rebound, like the dude, like athletically and physically, yeah, those are some stuff maybe you want to take in the first round. But if he comes out looking like Dylan Moses, then we might have a problem. And then at 25, I got the Packers taking Perion Winfrey out of Oklahoma, another DT that might go in the first here. He was a very good there at Oklahoma this past season. He did not play over. He's more of a penetrator, but he can when asked to, he can definitely like, I would say he's more finesse, but don't question, like there's some power to his game. Well, question everything first of all, but go check it out for yourself. There's some power to his game, but I feel better about him not necessarily playing nose, because what he did last season, the one time he really actually like played zero tech, well, actually there were two cases, but one against real competition, Texas, it didn't go well for him. However, when this guy is asked to just be a gap penetrator, because in the Big 12, you are not seeing, well, you're not seeing like anything more than a four-man rush. And Oklahoma, they were rushing four at sometimes just three guys. So, yeah, he was just penetrating. He did an excellent job at that. He is a solid run defender as well. So the Packers, they get a guy that can do that. Good on y'all. Drake Jackson going to the Browns. I kind of worry about him because from an analytical standpoint, he's very similar to Gregory Rousseau in terms of a lot of his pressure and sacks come from inside pass rush and moves. He has a hard time getting around the edge. If he can improve upon that, I think he could find himself in the first round, because I think athletically and physically, he is a first rounder. I just want to see the production follow through more so at bending the edge. Ravens, they get an Earl Thomas. They get Brandon Joseph. He's a redshirt sophomore. Might not even come out this next season. He played everywhere for Northwestern. Everywhere. Slot, box, deep. And if he can come out and replicate that type of play next season, it's going to be awesome. It's just going to be hard for him to do with, well, guys like Greg Newsome, gone. Patty Fisher, I know he's a special teamer, but dude was solid at linebacker there for Northwestern. They even lost, what was it, like Earlston Brown, the fifth or something like that, on their defensive line. Like, they lost some significant talent this past season to the draft. So if you come out and replicate that, I say go ahead, dude, because some people like Bubba Bolden, I want to see actual production from him first, because it's not there when his potential and ability catches up with or when his production catches up with his potential and ability. Come call me. We'll talk about him being a first rounder. Brandon Joseph, he plays like it. And then the Dolphins, I got them going Treylon Burks. I'm actually pretty high on this guy, and this is a bit of a projection on my part, because the receiving class, there's a lot of like outside boundary receivers. A lot of guys that are plus 200, a lot of guys that are like 6'3", 6'4". The problem is I got a ton of question marks about a lot of them. When it comes to Burks, the thing is he's easily the best receiver there at Arkansas. This man's got a good set of hands, and I mean he was handling like fastballs because his quarterback was Felipe Franks. This man only knows how to throw one speed, and it is typically on fire. But he's solid hands. He operated out of the slot, so typically he's getting a free release. But at 6'3", what is he, like 225 pounds? I don't think getting off the line of scrimmage is going to be a problem. I like to see him play a bit more outside next season. I think if he does, then shoot, he's going to be tremendous. I worry about his speed. He gets solid separation, but he has that he's probably a 4.5 guy, which is still fine in the NFL. I don't even know why I'm worried. But great body control. The dude, I think, could be a sneaky day 1, day 2 type of receiver. And then the Buffalo Bills. They're going another sleeper I have here. Martin Emerson Jr. out of Mississippi State. The guy's got the length. He's got the size. 6'2", 195. He's been shut down, or he was shut down last season in the SEC when basically the SEC defenses were laying down for everybody. Just going, again, 12 pass breakups on this guy. I want to see better ball skills, or I want to see him actually just turn those pass breakups into interceptions, turn them into turnovers. But look, he allowed a completion percentage of 55%. He only allowed He only allowed a little over 40 yards to Texas A&M. He allowed 20 yards to Alabama. Georgia, he allowed 32 yards. This guy's been shut down in coverage. His worst game of the year came in the bowl game against Tulsa, which is a shame. But the rest of his tape all year long was fabulous. It was fantastic. My one concern with him is his speed. I hope he does. We saw with Cameron Dantzler, he ran a 4.6, and that was a wrap for his draft stock. What happened? He ended up having a pretty, I would say, solid rookie season, a very inspiring, where it's oh man, this guy can be at least a corner 2, maybe even a corner 1. I think Emerson has that potential. I don't think speed's gonna be an issue for him, but we'll see. That's that 4.6 can kill potential real quick. Next, I got the Detroit Lions. They go interior just because I think it's the best, has the best talent available currently. Kenyon Green out of Texas A&M. Texas A&M got some solid prospects. I didn't think they had that many solid prospects across the line of scrimmage, mainly because, I'm going to be frank, man. I didn't like their offensive line outside of Green. Moore, you had McCullen. I thought they had very subpar talent along the offensive line this past season, except for Green. He started at left guard. He was phenomenal, both as a run blocker and a pass protector. I think he could definitely sneak into the first round, especially in a tackle class that's kind of, yeah. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I got to feature a running back. I have to. At least one, because one running back always goes in the first round at least every year. I don't think this class is nearly as good at the top. I don't think there's a Najee. I don't think there's a Travis Etienne. I think Breece Hall can definitely sneak into maybe that discussion and being the top guy here. That might be worthy of a first-round pick for some people. I don't think there's a first-round running back in this class. I'm just going to throw that out there. But Hall was fabulous at Iowa State. The dude was a broken tackle machine. There are a couple of other candidates that could possibly give him a little competition there on the peak of top running back in class. But currently, mine is probably going to be Hall going into the 2021 season. And then I'm going with Charles Cross here out of Mississippi State. Kansas City, they grab offensive tackle help. You might be they just traded for Orlando Brown. And plus, they have Lucas Nain and Mike Remmers. Mike Remmers is a journeyman. Lucas Nain, we have no idea what y'all have in him yet. So we're just going to go Cross here. Cross actually was very hot down the stretch, for Mississippi State. So I'm willing to bank he maybe takes that momentum into next season. He's really the only one currently, I think, that's even close to a first-round grade at offensive tackle outside of Zion. What was it? Zion, right? Nelson, the Miami guy? I should know. I'm a Miami fan. But yeah, outside Zion Nelson. And I know some people think, I know just because Evan Neal, just because he plays right tackle, he's probably might play left tackle upcoming season. At 360, he's probably a guard. But I'm going to bet on Cross. But that's my first round. That's it for the video. Let me know who are some of the guys you're keeping your eye on for the upcoming season. I'm going to get rankings out for, early rankings out for you maybe in the next few weeks. Yeah, I'm going to try to evaluate some of these guys. And then obviously over the summer, I'm going to be gritting my teeth and really getting deep into this class. So thanks for hanging out with me. It's about to be a fun 2022 NFL draft in about a year. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.